Hello, everybody. Welcome to Skating Unfiltered with Skater Jazzy
Skater
and
Jazzy.
Coach Jeff. Uh, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We've been pretty busy. Uh, Jasmine was getting ready to move out of college. She's not moving back to the dorm. That was your last time, right?
That was my last dorm.
Experience.
Yep.
Now we have an apartment of stuff in our house that we're going to try to sell or get rid of or something. So if you see me selling stuff, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to just throw it all away. But you've been talking about, and your internship is that? How's that going? That's finished.
Yeah, the internship's finished. I'm very, very grateful for the RSA, US Roller Speed Skating, Mr. McMahon, and Lisa Dunham for the opportunity to learn a lot of new things and how the RSA and US Roller Speed Skating, works and how much work is put into it for, even just putting together an event. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Now, that is over, or are you going to still work with them? And I know you when you were done, when you handed your thing in, your book was like this thick.
Yeah, I'll probably put a picture here as big as
And
it
because they
was.
had to get there for your grade, what grade did you get on that?
I got an A, so I got an A on it, so that's good.
Okay, and you really got to see how an organization runs as far as finance, as far as promotion and getting the word out, because you were doing a lot of promotion for them also.
Yeah, that was like my main thing, doing it with digital marketing on that side. So I did like a post today for because we're like less than 3 weeks out from American Championships.
Yep, in Colorado Springs at the Infinity Sports Center.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did something for the first time. We have a guest, and his name is Sean Cook. And I think we're going to talk about him because he has a wonderful story. And I think you're going to enjoy it.
Little background, he's an inline speed skater. He's 13, and he took on the a huge responsibility of becoming the coach of his team at just 13 years old. So we are going to go over to our interview with Sean Cook. Go ahead now.
Welcome, everybody, to Skating Unfiltered. We have our first ever guest, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love this person. So, with no further ado, or whatever they say, without further ado, I want to introduce you to someone. Let me get a little background check, a little background on this. Sean Cook, how you doing, Sean?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I tell you, the one of the other morning, I was just going through my Facebook, and I came across your mom's post and all the posts after that. And the more I looked into your story, it was just unbelievable. How old are you?
13.
13 years old. Okay. Just to let our audience know, Sean is a speed coach, correct?
Correct.
And when did you start? When did you start this?
About just about after, right after New Year's, and I think like mid of January.
So what made you decide to do this? I mean, we can't find coaches that are coaches. It's so hard to find coaches. What made you decide I'm going to coach this speed team? Walk us through this.
Well, I think what made me want to do it the most was like my coach before, Braxton, made just lit that spark in me. He just never gave up on me. He never really gave up on us.
So you've been coaching this team. So how do you how does this work? How often do you guys practice?
We practice once a week, and I think we get by just fine because everybody has gotten better. I've seen a lot of improvement in my skaters, and I've also heard parents say that their kids have gotten a lot better from me coaching.
So you have full reign, right? You and your mom kind of do this, right? And
Yeah.
so you come up with all the drills and all, how practice is going to be run and everything.
Yeah. I just kind of took off of like what my old coach did, and like I just kind of been using that stuff.
So do you have any drills that we could steal? So we can get because I'm known. If I see a drill, I mean I'm gonna be watching it. If I see a drill and I'm using that. I mean I'm in coaching. I got to tell you, I am very very impressed. I've been coaching for 40 years, and I've had a good run. But your story, when I kind of went through it, and I almost didn't believe it. So then I was calling people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy, this young man coaches, and the team has actually gotten bigger since you started coaching." Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
I mean, this is phenomenal, and you've been going to all the meets in the area. How do the other coaches respond to you?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I guess they just don't expect it. Like I've been to a few practices where they'd be like, "Are you the coach?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," and they're like, "No way." So like it's just been kind of awesome to hear like the adults say something about me coaching.
Now I understand too, on top of being this phenomenal coach, that you actually are got 2 awards for being in the top percent in a PE. I assume that's physical education.
Yeah.
And in orchestra, you play in the orchestra?
What's
Yeah.
instrument in the orchestra?
I play the viola.
Oh, and you have a 3.6 GPA, is that correct?
Correct.
I mean,
I don't think people realize how hard it is to do all that and also be coaching and skating at the same time.
One thing I have to say is that it's been tough because of like how my skaters don't listen all the time, but I still make them listen. I'm
Welcome
tough
to
on
the
them
club.
sometimes.
Welcome to the club on that one. I got one sitting right next to me. Don't listen to me sometimes.
Oh, that's not always true.
I got it. So how long? What are your plans for the future?
Well, we've kind of got one other person or 2 other people that have like tried to coach like the last 2 practices, but I want to go. I'm going to Colorado this year, so I'm hoping that in the next year or 2 I can at least try and help out with those guys with how to coach and like how to teach them, because like sometimes they don't listen at all. Like I've had practices where like they will not stop talking, and I'm like, guys, I just kind of give up. So like we'll just at that point I'll just like have them run sprints until like they're tired and they can't talk.
Oh boy, that sounds familiar. So you plan to keep doing this, correct? Now, when this all came about and you're just like, okay, I want to coach this team. How did you go about getting, since your team has grown, how did you go about getting new skaters?
Well, I've kind of had like the talk of like invite your friends and like see how they like it. We've had 3 other people. We've went from a team of 6 to a team of 9, and by the end of the season we had how many? 7 skaters go to the last meet. We had 7 skaters go to the last meet, and then including me. So that was obviously amazing. The majority of the team went. I'm just kind of happy that my team supports me in the skating league.
Well, I definitely hope that other people pick this up. I hope you get a spot with Mr. Rogers and whoever else. I hope it's on Inline Talk, and I hope it's on Speed Skater and everything else. So how do you balance Okay, I heard you say you're going to Colorado, so I'm assuming that's the American Championship. So how do you balance being the coach and then getting your own skating in at the same time?
Because I have them like follow me in like a pace line, or like I'll do them. So last practice that we did, like we don't like skate during the summer, so I want to do that sometime or like next year. And during the last practice, I had them do 45 laps, and like everybody was like, let's do it. So I'm super pumped up about them trying to actually participate in practice most of the time.
So you actually next year are looking to expand your practice to practice all year long.
Yeah.
So, and now, are you taking any skaters to the American Championships, or is it just you?
No, it's just me. None of them are quite at that level yet, but I'm trying to get them there.
Well, I got to tell you, this is phenomenal. You know, you're building a sport, and everybody should just applaud you. You know, I when I heard the story, you
I
know,
do try my best.
well, you know what, your best is a lot more than a lot. You should be very proud of yourself. I know your mom is, and your parents have to be very proud of you. I mean, when you decided you were going to do this, did they think you were like crazy?
My mom said, "Hey, go for it." My dad was kind of about it because he didn't think that I was old enough to take on the responsibility.
So, what is your team? What's the name of your team?
Roller Dome North.
Roller Dome North. Okay. So your mom was kind of, okay, let's try it. Your dad was, well, that's kind of, I can understand that because,
He won't let me coach.
even when Jasmine goes to coach practice, she'll go, well, what do you want him to do? And I'm like, just go coach him. And here you are just totally, I got this. And, how are the parents, you say the parents are pretty positive about this?
Mm-hmm. Like my dad has definitely been a big supporter now that I've actually gotten more skaters and that they've all improved a lot.
So what are your personal skating goals? You're coaching now, and
Well, for me personally, I want to make it to Junior Worlds for my 14th year. That's like my biggest goal.
well, I tell you, if there's anything I can do, just let me know. I mean, I find this story it should be everywhere. I really do. I think USA Roller Sports should be talking about it. I think USRSS should be talking about it. I think it should be everywhere because this is a human interest story.
Don't worry, it'll be on the USRSS page.
Yeah, I think this is phenomenal. I think what you're doing. And I think that everybody should applaud you. And I wish you the best of luck. And I look forward to meeting you at the American Championships. I'm hoping my doctor lets me go. I just had some knee surgery, so I'm hoping he lets me go. But if I'm out there, I'm gonna look you up. But I might not be too hard to find.
Well, I certainly won't be too hard to find either. I'll be on the floor, and then most of the time I'll be on the floor. I might just like help out around wherever I can.
So you're just all about giving back to the sport.
Yep.
So one more thing, how did you get into skating in the first place? What happened?
Well, do you mean speed skating or just like skating in general?
Speed skating.
Well, one Friday night while I was jam skating, I was trying to show one of the DJs a trick I had just learned, and Brian, the coach, he literally just walked up to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to join the speed skating team right here? And Sundays and Fridays, come out and see what it's all about." And I was just like, I brought it up to my mom. She went up to one of the managers and she had said, "Is this legit?" And we just kind of went from there.
And how long have you been?
Um, 7 or 8.
7 or 8 years or 7? Okay. Well, Jasmine, do you have anything other questions to ask?
Not questions, just as your goal is, to get to Junior World Championships. If you have any questions about it or the process, of getting there, I'm always here if you have any questions for that.
Thank you. This is great for me, as a skater, because you were on Worlds, so this is kind of gonna make my reputation bigger. It's gonna make a lot of my team. Thank you.
Thank you for being on here.
Yeah, thank you. I think you are making your reputation better.
Yes,
I think you have taken on a task that a lot of people would want to do, and I think you are doing a phenomenal job. I think everybody needs to know about it. I appreciate you coming on the show and giving us, talking about, the ups and downs, and hopefully, we're going to, get this all done and get this out as soon as possible when your mom gives the approval. And is there anything else you want to say before we let you go?
I just want to say thank you again. I didn't really expect one of the bigger coaches, one of the bigger skaters, to actually try and communicate with me, because I go to meets and I've noticed it a little bit, but not too much, because I talk a lot and I just really enjoy doing it. So there's that.
Well, listen, thank you for your time. And we'll try to get this out as soon as possible. We're going to tape a show, I think, maybe tonight, and we definitely appreciate your time, appreciate what you do, and we want to get the word out about you, and hopefully it inspires others to try to coach. And I always say thank you. My hat's off to you.
I always try my best. I give it 110%.
That's all anybody can ask for. That's all anybody can ask for. All right, Sean, listen, thank you. And I look forward to meeting you in Colorado.
Yes.
I'll look forward to meeting you too.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Well, our next topic.
We say again, we thank Sean for being our first guest for Skating Unfiltered. It was definitely something that I think should be shared more.
I hope it's shared all over the place, because I think it's a phenomenal story, and I think you'll really enjoy this young man. Now, on our next topic, we want to talk about, there's a lot of conversation in the coaches forum and around the country with the coaches about how to qualify for nationals. Now, right now, we have an open nationals. We do not have a regional qualifier anymore. That all started a couple years ago because some of the regions basically said they couldn't find rinks to have regionals in. It was, for a lot of people, regionals was just a formality, because they took down to, I think, 5 in division, 6 in the relays, and all this other kind of stuff. So people were, why are we spending all this money to go to a regional event and then turn around right away and have to spend even more money going to nationals? So
I think they're close. Maybe they're just too close.
Well, it could be they're close, but out in the middle of the country, going to regionals can be very expensive. I mean, for some of those people, it could be like an 8-hour drive. In our region,
because they're bigger regions.
Yeah, in our region, regionals is at the height. We went out to Pittsburgh. That was like 4.5 hours. But to be honest, for regionals for us,
across Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was only 40. It's less than an hour from our house, so it wasn't a big deal. If you didn't need a hotel, you just didn't get one. So they came. There's discussions now. Then we decided COVID came in. And we had an open nationals, and then COVID came in. Then we didn't have nationals, and we did have an open nationals. And I believe we were getting around, I say between 450, around 450. Okay, but there's some talk now that you should be able to qualify for nationals, and a lot of people have been coming up with when using timing system. Now, I believe a couple days before nationals or the night before nationals, going to have a town hall meeting. I know the Gypsy had posted. I'm not sure what the format's going to be, but I know all coaches are going to be invited, and they're going to discuss what people think about that. And just wanted to talk about it ahead of time because I like the timing system. I know the only experience I've had with the timing system is when the Gatlins did it outdoor nationals. And now Jason and Tosh use the timing system at various races, use it outdoor nationals. And I think it's essential, especially for the World Team Trials. And I don't really have a problem with it if you want to use it for to qualify for nationals. I'm just wanting to talk about the pluses and the minuses. Who's going to keep the system, who maintains the system, where do we house it, and how do you does having a timing system, because then the tracks have to be the same.
That's the hard part, because floors are different. Even if it's a 100-meter track, the floor is wider. It's gonna be.
Well, I know they use it in ice. When I was involved in ice years ago, they're really big on that. But all of those rinks are pretty much the same size, and so the times are pretty consistent. But for instance, if you have a 175 by 170 versus a 200 by 100, those times are going to be different. And I don't know how you differentiate between that. And if we couldn't get rinks to do regionals in the past, or we were running out of rinks to do regionals, I know in our region we're down to one rink. And that's
Olympic.
No,
it was Olympic.
Well, it was Olympic and skated Whitehall.
Those ones who
went back and forth. But then after the last time, I don't think the one rink won it.
Last time we had it was just Whitehall. Last time we had regionals was Whitehall.
Yeah. So how do you make this work? And how do you keep the integrity of this? Because do you have to have a certain official overseeing the times to make sure that they're the way they're supposed to be? And I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just.
It's gonna be hard to.
I'm just worried about I'm just questioning how we implement it, how we maintain it. There's going to be software that's going to be upgraded from time to time. And I know...
Time to time, it's going to have to be upgraded every single time a new software update comes out. I mean, my computer updates every 6 months.
Well, I know. And I know on the art side, that's a big problem with their scoring system, is keeping the software updated. So I don't know. I mean, is having a 100-meter, 1,000-meter race at Olympic the same as having a 100-meter race at Whitehall? I don't think so.
You mean 1,000 versus you said 1,000?
I'm sorry. A 1,000-meter race at Olympic and a 1,000-meter race at Whitehall. I don't know if that's the same thing. Now, I think it's something that still needs to be discussed, but I will say one thing. I think until we're at nationals and we got 800 entries, and we're there from 5 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock.
We're already there until 12.
No.
Not 5 o'clock in the morning.
We got break times, but when the numbers, I think we should talk about it, and I think the speed committee should definitely have something in place, so when the numbers come back, we don't have to say, "Oh my goodness, the numbers are back. What are we going to do now?" I do think it's a good discussion, and I think it's a discussion that they have to have.
But to see they're starting. That's the good thing about it, is they're starting the discussion.
Exactly. They're starting the discussion.
So that's a good thing.
So a lot of people, just because you ask questions does not mean that you're totally against the idea. It's just that, we do, if we're only going to use it a couple times a year, do we put this place in the storage bin? Do we keep it in a rink? I don't know how portable it is. And that's just something maybe that, because I know Tosh and Jason, they manage that. I would imagine they keep.
System?
Well, imagine they keep that at their
house and everything. I think we have to get more people, to
I think they manage that.
Teach it. I don't know. Maybe do like a
class.
Well, yeah, or even if the things they do over Zoom. I forget what they're called. Remember when they had to do it for World Skate for when the coaches?
Oh, training?
Yeah, like training.
Yeah. So I think that more people get familiar with it and how to use it, and maybe people will start to use it. Maybe it could be a way to qualify for people for nationals. Also, then the cost. If you go this way, will that turn into more people going to nationals? Yes or no? Because you got to spend $10,000, and I don't know how much the thing costs. I'm just throwing that out there. It might be
nothing. It's hard to go now to both, if you want to go to American Championships and indoor nationals with it. Because they're far enough apart where, you can't.
No, but what I'm saying is, if the system costs, let's say the system costs $10,000. That's what USA Road Sports, they go out and buy them. Every region has one. Mm-hmm. There's 8 regions, and say it's $1,500 a system. Now, does that turn into more membership to offset the $10,000 cost? Because more people go to nationals, because more people qualify.
I have no clue.
That's what you have to look at from a business standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but sometimes you're going to have to lose to over time gain.
Well, that's called investment, but it depends on how much that time is. You invest.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, that's true.
You can't invest. Okay, we're gonna invest in this for 20 years, and then on the 21st year we'll make a profit. That's not good.
It's gonna be hard, especially with having different regions. And right now we only have 1 or 2 timing systems total.
I don't know what that number is. I'm not on the
I don't know
rep calls anymore, so I don't know. I know that they're.
Well, I know the Skate-More has the timing system. I don't know if that's the same timing system
I don't know what it is
for trials with that. But then going back to it, it's hard if you have rinks different sizes, unless you say, okay, for regionals you have to have a rink that's this size rink, which not everybody's gonna have either.
Yeah. Now I have a question. Talking of timing systems. We were in Orlando. They had the timing system on the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
We go to American Championship. They have it on the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got to worry about make sure you hawk with the right ankle.
I can only hawk with one leg, so it don't matter for me.
What do you think? Because there was some discussion. They had it on the head, but do we have to, if we incorporate the timing system, do we have to change some of these rules? And if we do change the rules, will they be applicable to World Skate? Because we kind of, with the hawk and everything.
What kind of rules?
Well, like I said, we had the time system on the head.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you and I are racing, and we hawk at the line.
Yeah.
But I'm way crazy with my hawk. My head's back.
But
you beat me though.
Yeah. Then the rule. From what I know, with American Championships, I would win the race. They normally go by timing trips, but the other thing is they also go by the camera.
But is it every single race? Like when you're doing the heats, okay, we're just gonna go by the time.
Because
if somebody were to sit up there and say, "Wait a minute, whoa, my skater beat that skater," then you gotta go back.
No, that's why they use the camera. And the times with it. If the times are so close, then that's something that they have to look at. Like for example.
But is that what I'm saying? Is that automatic, or is that?
That's only when it's necessary.
Okay, so what causes it to be necessary? Me going up there complaining about it?
No.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Because
when I look at the rule book,
they have a camera.
I understand they have a camera.
So. In the rule book, or I don't really know the rules, but when they explained it is, my timing chip can be ahead, but if my wheel's behind the other skater, that person wins the race.
I understand that, but what triggers somebody to look at that?
How close the race is. That's just something.
Well, I think that needs to be incorporated in the rules.
What do you mean? The trigger is, okay, they go across the line together. They have to review that footage to see who won, who crossed the line first.
I'm just saying, I think it should be written in the rules.
It probably.
I don't know if it is or not. It's written in the rules to see. But But new technology, we got to embrace this new technology and try to make it work. But at the same time, we have to be able to, ask how it's going to work and be able to question it so it can work. So it's the skater should be the beneficiary of everything we do. Not the person, not the officials, not the coaches, not the parents, not the person running the timing system, not the person. The skater has to be the beneficiary. And if the skater's the beneficiary, I'm good. I'm good. I just want to make sure that happens. So we wanted to pop in and say a couple things. We got American Championships in about...
Before that, we have the mega practice on June 5th at Whitehall.
Yes, we do.
Skateway.
And anybody's welcome to that. We're going to be giving out awards.
Doors open at 7. Time trial starts at
7:30.
$10.
Funny we said time trials.
Time trial starts at 7:30. $10 per skater. Spectators are free.
Yep. So we're just and then we got American Championships out in Colorado. It's going to be it's going to be hard to get a show here and there because we're going to be all over the place. Mm-hmm. I know I put a post out, Mr. Rogers, about
driving or flying,
and I was really surprised. I'm really proud that so many people are really going to try to go out there to both competitions and make it work because it is. It's this gas prices and what's going on is really taking a toll on some people, and it's just when you go on boom 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 right in a row, that's a lot of money that some families are going to have to give out over the next couple months, and we'll have to wait and see how that affects going into next year, because most families are going to have to find a time to recoup from that.
Not just money, but oh my goodness, energy.
Well, that too. I'm just so glad that your college will be done.
My college is done. Oh.
You got one more.
I thought you meant just for the spring. Yeah. I finished my last spring semester.
Yeah. Hopefully. So hopefully, that's really gonna be helpful because, it's just hard. Well, I think that's all we got right now. We want to make sure.
Just to
every
say.
Time I say that.
Well, because I wrote stuff down to remember because we were talking about American Championships. The deadline has passed for entry, so if you didn't have them in,
get a hold of Lisa
now.
Right away.
Well, yeah, you have to get a hold of Lisa, but most of it is now. I'm pretty sure you have to give your entries there, and it's there's a late fee, of course, with that. I don't know exactly what it is I have in my head, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to say the wrong thing. For those that don't know where it is hosted at the Xfinity Roller Sports Arena in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's actually, the arena is made for roller sports. It's not just, just like another arena. Like if you go to Indoor Nationals, it's an arena where you can host concerts and, you have hockey, basketball, all these other sports. It's specified for, roller sports. And then, as I said on a previous show, is that the race champions payout is different from previous years. So this year they are going to pay out per race. So for first place, if you win a race for the finals, because there is heats in the 1,000 to 300. If you win the final, any of the final races, first place is 500, second place is 300, and third place is 200. And then for the overall champions, if you gather the most points at the end, first place is 1,000, second is 600, and third is 400.
Man, that's a lot of big checks they're going to have to make this year. Remember, they only had 6.
I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know how they're going to do it. If they're going to do a lot of just big checks, or maybe also because for awards it was just there are two award ceremonies. I would say if this time they're gonna just do all of them, like each race. Okay, winner of the 300, winner of the 1,000, winner of the 5,000. Which I think would be cool because it gives more recognition to a lot of skaters.
And it spreads it out a little bit better too.
Yeah.
People out there, maybe you got a 500-meter person.
300. There's no 500.
300, and they ain't going to be in that long race, and so they get a little bit of change.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you out there. We'll be out there. And I'm not going to say, remember to subscribe and hit the like button. I always forget to say that. So, and we're going to be going sometimes live and sometimes tape. This time we did tape because we had an interview. Sometimes, we live. We just we'll just have to see how that works because there is Jasmine can tell you why we should do both, because sometimes when you go live, you get a lot of people right away, but then that hurts your YouTube ratings.
Well, I'll post on both. It's just also the same times, like when you are interviewing a person, it's just you and that person being interviewed, where, sometimes it is good to go live because then there's reasons for that. But if you just want to specifically interview a person, you don't want to have the interruptions in between. And then you can ask questions afterwards, and then maybe we'll interview them again to get those questions in. Or, you can reach out to them specifically and ask those questions as well.
I like it kind of live because I like people. I like the fact you're looking into questions and people ask questions as we're going on, and it kind of keeps us on our toes because we, maybe the show goes in a whole different direction, and then we can control where it goes. So that's all I got.
That's all I have.
Alrighty, everybody have a good night.
Or morning.
Or morning, wherever. It's Memorial Day weekend for us, so we can go out and make a fire. So, thanks.
I thought it was raining.
No, it's not going to start raining until later.
Okay.
So, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again. And till next time.
Bye.
Skate fast, turn left.
You're supposed to say, you know what? You're supposed to say skate fast. I'm supposed to say turn left.
Okay. Skate fast.
Turn left.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.